Hey, what's up, everybody? Anthony Sevens back again for another product review. Today we're going to be discussing the 2010 Neca Severus Snape. I guess you can call it an action figure. Neca, very well known for designing a lot of different movie things. Neca actually was designing movie stuff before McFarlane Toys got involved, and as you know, McFarlane Toys were some of the best action figures and figurines ever made. But NECA has actually, over the past decade or so, has really stepped up their game in the figurine category. So with the Harry Potter stuff, and I may be mistaken, but I do believe the Harry Potter figures, the first wave of them, Series 1 came out in about 2008. The second series, which the Severus Snape here is from, came out in about 2010. So this is definitely about a decade old figure. If you were to look for him online today, I think they retailed at approximately $15 to $20. But today the Severus Snape figure ranges more from the $50 to $75 range if you can find them and find them in good condition. Now there's a couple of things. The sculpt on this is great. It's beautiful. It's not perfect, but for an Alan Rickman look-alike, you know, as you can tell, it's pretty cool. It is really cool. And one of the neat features about this is that you can actually, the cape is a heavy rubber vinyl. You could put that off to the side, and as you can see, he does come complete with his costume if that's the way you want to pose him and represent him. As far as the movement of these figures, usually it's the joints and the arms. You can spin the arms around or move, you know, the arm up and down. So even though they are a figure, they are figures that have action, they are more so for just simple display purposes, more they're action figures that function like a figurine pretty much. Now there is an issue that I do have with this, a couple of issues for those who actually care about small, minute details. If you've actually seen the packaging or seen the advertisements online specifically for this figure, what's on the packaging, what's being advertised, actually looks more accurate to what you see in the films, even the style of the pose. For example, his hand right here, as you can see the wand pointing up. In the film, and even on the packaging, his hand is more pointed down, as Severus Snape's wand position would be. So you know, it's a little disappointing to know that you can't really, what are you going to do, bend his arm down and make him in some funky way? So it's kind of like, the face is slightly different, the hand position is slightly different. I mean, other than that, I think that the figure's great. The cape, this is what pisses me off the most, because in the pictures, again, in the advertising, the cape sits on him as you would see it in the film, right on the shoulders and whatnot. But it seems like they have designed the vinyl cape to be rather long and lengthy. So in other words, the bottom of this cape is going to hit the table before his feet do, causing the cape to sit up a little bit higher on his shoulders than anybody would want. So if I put the cape on him, see how this pops up over here? That's because the bottom of the cape is touching the table. And this is actually quite an aggravating feature because, you can kind of mess with the cape and try to turn it sideways, and right about there is how it should look, like it's resting on his arms, but you let it go and it winds up popping up. I think the best solution to this is to try to spread his cape out a little bit and try to get it to just carefully rest or swoop back on the table, but it's so freaking hard to do that. But other than that, let's kind of give you a little bit of a closer look. Pardon me, I'm touching the screen here trying to get some kind of a focus on him. But he does have a little bit of that blue tint color in his costume compared to the straight black cape, which is cool. So you got a nice offspring of like a deep blue and purple-ish with the black. So again, the figure is nice. The position is nice. It's these. Anything with the concerning NECA and the Harry Potter figures that they make or have made, they're beautiful. But it just, again, it's aggravating when you got a figurine that you're paying $50 for or so, and it's not functioning as advertised. I mean, little gripes and whatnot, but it absolutely, like I always say, it looks great in a collection, looks great on a shelf, especially if you're a huge Harry Potter fan or just a collector of anything Neca. It does work. It's definitely super cool stuff. But, I mean, that's really all I have. I could put his arm up here a little bit more. Expecto Patronum. But, yeah, definitely cool stuff. Neca, Harry Potter, 2010 Series 2 collection, Severus Snape. Till we meet again, please take care of yourself and take care of each other. And try not to let little things like this ruin your life.